Hello there, welcome back to my channel. I'm Katie and I teach piano. I've been taking piano myself, or I did, from age 10 to 18, and I'll be your teacher for this video. And in today's lesson, we're going to learn about different kinds of notes. Now, in my previous videos, I've covered scales, chords, the notes that are in the treble clef and the bass clef, that sort of thing. But today we're going to actually get into different kinds of notes. So, the first and most common one that we're going to look at is called a quarter note. Now, a quarter note looks like this. About like that. It's filled in and it has a stem. Now, this stem, depending on where you are in the bass or the treble, will be up or down. And it can be on the other side too. So for example, that's a quarter note, but also that's a quarter note. Just this is in the treble, this is in the bass. But once you get about midway through the treble or midway through the bass going up, then the stem, you'll notice, will flip sides. So for example, middle C here, but then once you get up to B, then you've got your lines here, and then there's B, and then it goes up from there. And part of that's a stylistic choice. You don't have to flip the stem, but that's kind of an aside. So the next kind of note Now the next kind of note is called a half note. And the half note basically looks like a quarter note, but for one crucial difference. It's not filled in. The quarter note is filled in, half note is not. Now going up from the half note, we have a whole note. Now these three are kind of considered the most basic notes that there are. Quarter, half, whole. Now you may notice I'm saying quarter and half and whole, things like that. They kind of sound a little mathematic. There's a reason for that. A quarter is 1/4 of a whole note. Half, guess what, is 2/4 or half of a whole note. So notice that there's 1/4 in this, there are 2/4 in this note, and there are 4/4 in this note. So what that means, put another way, is the half note is 2/4. These are the same thing, same number of counts in a measure. And a whole note is 4/4. Now it looks a little funny the way I drew it, but you know, just for making room. So 1/4, 2/4, 4/4. Now you may be wondering, well, what about 3/4? That's a pretty common fraction in math, right? Well, there's another note that takes care of that. So we have a half note, that's 2, but to get 3, you have to add 1/4. So the way we do this in music is we put a dot next to the half note. This dot represents 1 more quarter. So this note is a dotted half note, and that means 3. See? So now when we look at all of these together, thinking in terms of the number of beats that everything gets in a measure, then typically the most common number that you will see, you're going to get 4 beats in a measure. Now that's the most common, but there are other common counts as well. But for basic purposes, we're going to stick with 4 beats in a measure. So that means that a complete measure is going to have 4 beats. So you have lots of options for that. You could do any one of these, because this is 4, that is 4, that equals 4, and that equals 4. You've got 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, 2 plus 2, 3 plus 1, and 4. So all of these are all going to equal 4 beats, and you can put these in any order that you like. You know, you could do 2/4 and a half. You could do, well, okay, maybe there are other options. There are other notes out there. These are just the basic building blocks. So let me put this in a graph real quick, and I'll show you another way of looking at it. Okay, so here's a very simple breakdown of how this would work out. 1 whole equals 2 halves equals 4/4. So if you're a bit more mathematically minded, let me put it this way. What you have here is a whole pie divided into quarters. So whole pie divided into quarters down here, or you can do 2 halves, something like that. Either way, it all adds up to a whole pie. Just different ways of saying the same thing. So now that we've taken a look at that, what this looks like on a chalkboard, let's go and see what this sounds like on a piano. All right, so now that we're at the piano, we're going to start off on middle C again. So now a quarter note will sound something like, so if you count that in your head, it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. A half is going to sound like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. See? So if you have 4 beats in a measure, it can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or it could be 1, 2, 3, 4. Lift off. See? So notice what I'm doing for each of these notes. So I'm going to hold this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and lifting off after each of those counts. So after I count 2, I'm going to lift off. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. See what I mean? Either way, it's going to be a complete measure, but the note that you see is not only going to tell you which key to play, it's going to tell you how long you're supposed to play it. So when you see a quarter note, or half note, or whole note. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and like I said, there are other notes that I didn't cover in this video because they're getting a little bit more into the fractions. Music, you'll soon find out, kind of likes its fractions. It kind of likes math. It kind of likes addition. My teacher used to say, if you're a good math student, you're a good musician. Now you can become a good math student, you can become a great musician. I hope this has all been helpful for you as an introduction to notes. If you'll leave me a comment below, tell me I stayed till the end. That's how I'll know you stuck around. If you just comment, I stayed till the end. We'll start there. Then let me know down in the comments too if you have any questions. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. That tells me you want to see more of this. And subscribe if you'd like to see more videos in the future. And I'll see you next time.